88 gang.
Hit Mac.
AYB, let pipe him up, bro.
Let's go big. 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 I got hop in a car with no roof. I got hop in a car with no roof. Let's go big. 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 Let's go big.
Somebody opened fire at Drake's house, shooting a security guard. Tyron, the question is, has the beef with Kendrick Lamar finally gone too far?
Put the gun down, son, and fight like a man.
All right, so basically, we were talking about this weeks ago that Drake and Kendrick Lamar, that they were releasing diss tracks and it started to get hot. But you specifically said, as long as it doesn't get violent, you're a fan of it. But now it appears that that line has been crossed. Somebody went to Drake's home in Toronto. Drake was not home at the time, but somebody opened fire. A security guard was shot. He's in serious condition right now as of taping this show. And they haven't specifically pointed the finger at Kendrick Lamar, but everyone's going like, even if it wasn't Kendrick or somebody affiliated, like it seems to be a result of their feud. What's going on now, Tyron?
Allegedly, I believe that it's not anything to do with Kendrick Lamar. And people will do anything for clout. Even going and shooting up Drake's house, and it sounds like a security guard got hit by a bullet. So they feel like by them doing it, they're showing their allegiance to Kendrick Lamar. They're showing their allegiance to fuck shit. They're showing their allegiance to being stupid. And at the end of the day, I, as well as many others, have been engrossed into this beef. Yeah. To me, I feel like Euphoria and Like That was right underneath Hit 'Em Up by Tupac as far as rap battle diss tracks, right? I feel like the Billboard has not charted a hip-hop album in so long that this was needed for the culture. This was needed for hip-hop and rap music, that guys that are on that level of artistry and lyrical content, that they would go at each other, making a lot of people raise their bar up on what they're doing and putting out music-wise, right? I felt like it was good until it got to what? Until it got to pop, pop, pop. I don't think that's coming from Drake. I don't think that's coming from Kendrick Lamar. I think it's coming from idiots that are trying to show their alliance to one side or the other.
So cloud chasers?
Cloud chasers, cheetah cloud chasers, sprinting after cloud, because at the end of the day, look at what's gaining the most clout. If I got a body, I get the most clout. If I went to jail, I get the most clout. If I rap about my booty brown, my what's the name of a different color, if I rap about that, I'm getting clout. So the deviant things are getting clout. We've seen that, right? Look at the culture and the climate of the culture right now. Even R&B's battling. You got Chris Brown battling. You got girls trying to battle each other. You got boxers outside of the boxing ring in nightclubs. You know, I seen Tate going after Haney after he got beat up. So it's so much drama and beef. Like, I feel like we need some love. I'm about to put out some music. I'm putting out some love tracks because people need some love. Thanks to TLC.
I need some real right now. Yeah. Should Drake be scared? Should Drake be worried for his safety?
Drake. I mean, allegedly. Once again, I'm not in the rooms, and I don't know Drake personally. I don't know his team personally. I've only met him one time, but I have heard through the rumor mills, and like I said, allegedly. Thank you for that tip. Drake is not as cornbally as we think, from what I understand. So, you know what I mean. But neither is Kendrick Lamar. The thing that I see that when people get into the place of stardom, they now want to be a Blood or a Crip, right? Kendrick was already a Blood in Compton before the rap. He used rap to get out of it. A lot of people using rap to now be associated with it. You got people claiming gangs after they are a superstar and millionaire. That's when you should be going. I'm not trying to claim the gang I was when I was a teenager. That was stupid. You know what I mean? Now I've evolved. I've grown as a man and as a person. I don't want to go back and just because when I was a kid, I was in the gang, try to claim that now. You know what I mean? So like, that's what we're seeing. I feel like Drake, his team, I don't think it's a matter of who's the toughest. It's really a pissing contest at this point. I think they should just stay to the bars. Hopefully everybody tighten up the security. The idiots sit y'all ass down and enjoy some fire music. You know what I mean? If you love Drake, you love Drake. If you love Kendrick, you love Kendrick. It's a great time for both of them, to be honest.
One of the things I learned during my time at TMZ was, and I mean this in the most respectful way, that you don't fuck with Jay Prince.
Jay Prince is like a big uncle to Drake. And he is somebody that Drake is affiliated with. And it's very known that he's affiliated with not only Jay Prince, but also the city of Houston. He's talking about getting a house in Houston. You've seen him at Trill Burgers with a Bun B eating hamburgers. So he's showing that he's affiliated with Houston, but more so that he's affiliated with Jay Prince. You've seen this with YBN, Namir, Corday, Almighty J, all these guys too, because they're looking for protection. The same way Kendrick Lamar, he hasn't really shown it, but other people in the West Coast are going to certain figures for protection as well. I think Kendrick Lamar has the same protection that Drake has with Jay Prince, but I don't think it should get to that. I think somebody beyond myself should call out the clout chasers, to call out the people that are going and shooting and doing stupid stuff and ruining a great time in music by adding the violence in there. Let them. Kendrick said it himself. He said it's a friendly fade. Let's keep it that way, right? Meaning that we just going back and forth with music and artistry. He said that in one of the diss records, and I feel like
but let me
to bring that back.
Let me stop you though, because it's all fun and games until somebody accuses another man of being a pedophile, and then I feel like
you got to show receipts. That's the last 5 years with the WAC 100s and all the guys in jail. It's a big thing on snitching. It's a big thing on showing receipts, right? If you got paperwork, and when I say paperwork for you guys that haven't been following this, that means you got to have a court that's saying somebody testified, that's saying somebody said a statement, that's saying somebody went on record, that's saying somebody cooperated with the police. And also in this situation, you got to show accusations that somebody has been not only accused, but actually convicted of this. So that's why I feel
you know what this sounds like, Tyron? It sounds like rap is getting into journalism.
I mean, no, it's only sounding like that because of you. I got to shout you out because I can say some stuff right now that can get us both in fucking trouble. But you have trained me to say allegedly and hypothetically and all this other stuff because I know that me even saying the wrong thing can get us fucked up, right? So we need to keep our bag.
If you're going to release a diss album and you're going to make allegations about somebody else, it seems like these guys have to do their journalism before they get out there.
I mean, kind of, sort of, but it's just like, it's like your credibility in your name is so strong and that's really all you got. We talked about that before when we talked about your character and what you mean in the street. That's really your reputation. So if you're going out and saying somebody did something that they didn't do, right? And you don't have any proof to prove it, now that person's name may be mud forever. Think about the person that murdered Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle heard that this person was a snitch, allegedly. And then he said, no, you can't be around here because you snitched. What if that person didn't snitch and they didn't have paperwork? Now he's saying that it's his reputation. You see what happened in that circumstance. So you got to really, like, not they're getting very petty with it. It's kind of annoying. Yeah. Like here recently, it was Jim Jones in the airport, I think in Florida. And he got into a fight with two people, right? And he said, no, what you doing? They assaulted me. They assaulted me. Well, how you going to yell at me? Them two assaulted me, both of them, right? And WAC 100 was like, oh, look, he cooperated. Come on now. Like, I think cooperation and snitching is like you going and saying, this motherfucker had the drugs. He shot this person. I need to get off the hook, and I'm going to put your ass underneath the bus.
So real quick answer. How does the Kendrick Lamar-Drake feud end at this point? How do you see this ending?
Man, let it keep going. Shit, this shit great for music. Just keep the violence out. I think Kendrick is up, and I think the only reason why Drake is still... his diss tracks have been fire, but Kendrick Lamar has just been a step ahead. I feel like because of Drake's following, Drake is a pop star, let's be for real. And Drake has had all the people trying to get him into every genre of music, right? His following on Instagram. Kendrick don't give a fuck about no following. He don't care about Instagram. He's fell off the grid for years before he came back with the fire that he has now. I feel like we need another round. I feel like we need another track. And I feel like we already fucking through the kitchen sink. So this next one, nobody hold nothing back. Let it all fly.
Ryan Garcia now says he was high on weed when he fought and beat Devin Haney. Tyron, what's your take on this, man?
I wish I would have got high in my last 5 fights.
There's been so much craziness surrounding this Ryan Garcia-Devin Haney fight, right? First, he was acting crazy going into the fight. Then he dominates Devin Haney. And then after the fight, he tests positive for performance-enhancing drug, which Ryan denies using, kind of suggested that he had a tainted supplement. And now he's claiming that maybe there's a diabolical plot against him. It was kind of a setup. And now, in a brand new interview with the Fully Tilted podcast, Ryan said that he had been drinking and smoking weed all the way up to and right before the fight. I don't even know what to make of this as a person who's dedicated his life to combat sports, Tyron. Like, what do you think when you see him saying?
If I gave a fuck, then I wouldn't say what I'm about to say, but I don't, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. The alcohol thing, I don't really agree with because I feel like that would disrupt the way I feel. But my last couple UFC fights, you know what I mean? I found that when I was training and there was cannabis in my system, I felt like I was in a matrix. I never got tired. I never got fatigued. I never overanalyzed, and I never hesitated. I would spar the whole gym nonstop. And I felt like, damn, you know, in fights, at times I feel like I'm holding back and I'm overthinking. And I always told myself, because I fought in the States, it was legal to do so. I could have did it in Vegas. I fought in that dumbass Apex Arena, you know what I mean, during the pandemic. I hated it. And that whole concept, I hated all of it. I hated being so close to my opponent, seeing them 7 times a day. I hated all of it. And I really told myself every day, every time I fought, that I'm gonna pop an edible before I go out there and I'm gonna smash this motherfucker, right? Each time the fight came up, right before the day of, the same day, I went against it, because my whole career, I never did nothing like that. And I'm like, I don't want to do it. Sometimes I look back and I wish I would. So I think Ryan Garcia with the alcohol, I think he's trolling us, to be honest, just because alcohol makes you feel like you want to throw up. You don't want to be in a fight and feel like you want to throw up. The weed thing he may not be lying about. I think he just really more importantly trying to make it seem like a slight flex. Like, yeah, you know, I didn't even take it serious and I did this. I was drinking, I was doing, you know what I mean? I think that's more so what we see going on. I think is less truth behind that.
What about the cheating allegations? Do you believe what he's kind of pushing, which is that he didn't intentionally take a performance-enhancing drug, and if he did, it was a setup or it was a tainted supplement?
I don't know what happened. I don't know enough about the details. I know that, I don't know if they test this second sample, but for some reason, Ryan Garcia, to me, doesn't come off as somebody that would use steroids. Their body composition is different. They got a lot of acne. They got a lot of rage. I mean, he had some trolling and some sporadic mental health concerns, but he didn't have the rage of some of these MMA people that I know that's been popping the juice. Also, what would his reason be? And I don't know what the Osterstein banned substance does for you, but when I look at a Devin Haney is not a person like a Tank that has a lot of power. He's known to be a great boxer. He knows to out-endure, out-tough, and outlast his fighters. He's not known to overpower them. And somebody that's taking a performance enhancement drug, I feel like they're fighting against somebody that they feel physically is more powerful than them, right, and they want to try to even the playing field. I can't see it. And one thing I know for a fact, if it comes back, you know, it's like you're innocent until proven guilty until you start talking about PEDs. Yeah. People, once you get claimed with that, people forever think that you were taking it. Ryan Garcia, mark my words, if it comes back that he actually was not on any banned substances, for some reason, just because of his TikTok following, these younger kids aren't with the like don't snitch and you know what I mean? They don't care. They'll listen to 6ix9ine. They'll listen to Gunna. They'll listen to whatever. They are going to accept him like it never happened. So I don't believe so. But also, if he did, you know what I mean? He did, but he just doesn't come off to me as somebody that would do that.
All right, so after the fight, Ryan was gambling with Peso Pluma. Our good friends at Clocked and Loaded actually got the video of that. It's awesome. Shout out to them. My question for you is this. No matter how this pans out, whether or not it turns out it's confirmed that he cheated or not, is his star higher than it's been before? In other words, are you going to be more excited or less excited for his next fight?
And more excited just because he got so many moving parts. Yeah. He got so many things that are just making him just he a loose cannon right now. You know, you don't know if it's good. We thought it was going to be bad. A lot of people thought the fight should have been called off, and he went out there and smoked Haney. And he made a song called Haney Pack, which basically after you murder somebody or you beat them up bad, you name a pack at them. So he's dabbling into a lot of different stuff. I think once you become very controversial but also conflictual, people want to watch you. He's saying, Jesus, I love you, and basically saying, you know what I mean, giving all praise to God. And 2 seconds later, talking about drinking and smoking weed and fighting and calling somebody a pack. So he all over the place, and we love all over the place. We will always have a job, Evan, because we got a lot of all over the place in our place where we live at. So he is every bit of that, and I think his profile has raised, and I think more eyeballs are going to be on him because of it.
Canelo Alvarez wants to fight and hurt Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya seems to want the beef. Tyron, does this fight actually happen, or is this just 2 guys talking shit?
2 guys talking shit, but Oscar was viral for saying, put some fucking respect on my name.
All right, now it's a segment that we like to call
Celebrity Fades.
right before Canelo's fight this weekend, he got into it with Oscar De La Hoya. Now, Oscar and Canelo used to be tight. Canelo used to be a Golden Boy fighter. He worked with Oscar's fight promotion company, but then they had a terrible, horrible split, and now they hate each other's guts. So at the press conference before the fight this weekend, Oscar basically said, hey, Canelo, you're a cheater. And Canelo said, you better stop talking before I start bringing up some stuff. And they continued to talk, and here's what ended up happening. Canelo said, you cheat your fighters. He called them some homophobic slurs. He brought up some famous imagery from Oscar's past. And then they started really getting in each other's faces. Now, Oscar's an older guy. He hasn't fought in a long time, but he almost fought Vitor Belfort a couple years ago, and he was training for that fight, and he looked pretty good. Do you think that this escalates to the point where we will actually see Canelo fight Oscar De La Hoya?
I would think I would fight Oscar De La Hoya before Canelo. I feel like Canelo in his prime will beat an Oscar De La Hoya at his prime, but you got to give it out to Oscar as a Mexican boxer. He really was one of the top brands. So, you know what I mean? You can't compare the people with different nutrition, different supplements. Hopefully they're all legal. And, you know what I mean? Just a better idea of how to train smarter. You know what I mean? So Canelo's in a whole different wave of generation. I do believe that a lot of fighters are not very loyal. That's why I don't deal with a lot of management of fighters and a lot of training of fighters, because you invest all this time, money, energy into a person, and then they blow up, and then somebody start fast talking them with more money and quote unquote opportunities, they quick to slide. So I think Oscar kind of knew his fighter was not up to par to beat a Canelo, but he wanted him to so bad because he's kind of like, motherfucker, I'll put your name on the map. I push you real hard. People wouldn't even know you that well if it wasn't for me, right? Well, she ain't really lying about it. You know what I mean? So put some motherfucking respect on my name. And Canelo, who's normally, you know, under, not phased and normally not, you know what I mean, tripping, and you start accusing people of sexual assault or PEDs or DV, they gonna come up out of their skin.
Yeah.
And I feel like he started poking the bear, and Canelo got unwound. And it's a crazy time right now, just in general. Everybody got smoked.
So check this out. So Canelo is about to be 34 years old. Oscar De La Hoya is 51. I was at Oscar's open workout when he was going to fight Vitor Belfort a couple years ago, and I got to tell you, he looked to be in pretty great shape then. He just made a music video kind of mocking Ryan Garcia, but you could see his physique. He doesn't look like he's in bad shape, but he's got like the
No, he threw that. He had a procedure done.
Oh, he did?
Oscar, yeah, he was open about it.
Oh,
I think he sucked all the fat from Paul's. He basically had a procedure where they kind of lipoed the fat and then made the packs poke out.
You can
all
do
this
that?
is a Paul statement. Yeah, he did it. He was on how do you reference people?
Real quick, if anybody's out there,
Big Boy Radio, on Big Boy Radio, shout out to those guys. He literally talked about the whole process really openly, and he didn't feel no type of way about it. So he looked good. He's always had speed. I don't think he can beat Canelo, and I don't think he should try, not at this age. If he want to just go out there as a man and just like, oh, you called me out, let's do it, then let him handle that. As men, we got to defend ourselves. Even if we get beat up, we at least got to step up to the plate. But is it a fight that makes sense? No.
I just want the six-pack surgery. How do you do that?
I mean, all the fat that's in between the pack, they get rid of it, so it makes the packs look more pronounced. It's kind of like the movie. I don't want to give the 300 trick. See, I don't want to mess up the film. With 300, it was a special treatment that they do where all the Spartans' abs poked out more, and he could have went that route, but he went the surgical route.
Hey man, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
I didn't say that. Evan said that. If you cheating, your ass trash.
Giselle is reportedly pissed off about the Tom Brady celebrity roast, feeling that she caught way too many strays. Ira, does she have a point?
I mean, you went through a divorce. You know what this culture about. They love that shit.
Nikki Glazer said at the Tom Brady roast on Netflix, which was excellent, by the way, that Tom Brady is probably upset that Giselle is dating a jiu-jitsu instructor who can beat his ass while eating hers.
That's funny as hell. And I doubt that he's really tripping because Tom Brady's out there pushing P. And I'm not talking about no Gunna song and no Young Thug song. They made an even funnier joke that his joint, pause, has CTE from all the P he been pushing.
First off, shout out to Netflix. That was one of the best roasts I've ever seen. It was live. Kevin Hart was fantastic. But look, everybody did go after Giselle. Not really Giselle. They went after Tom Brady and mentioned Giselle a lot. I don't think Giselle was really attacked. I think Tom Brady was attacked and Giselle was just brought up a lot. But there are reports that she's unhappy with it, that she feels like she didn't sign up for that, which she could argue she did or she didn't by, being in a relationship with one of the most famous athletes on the planet to begin with.
Yeah.
And also a super famous person. So
it's like unfortunate when you become in the public eye, when you become a huge figure like Tom Brady, everybody that's associated with you is automatically signed up for public, private, social media onslaughts of all types. People are always going to say something about you. They're going to say you did something. They're going to say you didn't do something. They're going to be, micromanaging and using a fine-tooth comb and a magnifying glass on your relationship, your marriage. And the second they break up, everybody happy about it. I feel like this was his way of kind of rolling with the punches, right? Because it ain't really that funny, you know what I mean? When you think about a divorce. But I thought he was a sport for sitting there and getting roasted. You know what I mean? I think she just needed to just sit down somewhere.
See, my takeaway is that the report, I don't really believe the report is, I guess, my point. Because I feel like it was really cool to see Tom and everybody making fun of the divorce and all that stuff, because I feel like it shows that they're cool now, right? That you can have fun with, kind of look back and laugh at it.
Is she really dating the jiu-jitsu guy?
That's the report.
These jiu-jitsu guys be trying to sneak. They be trying to sneak in. Let me teach you self-defense. You try to get between her motherfucking legs in the full guard. Jiu-jitsu people always trying to use self-defense to get in between some legs. That's funny.
So basically you're saying you want to date a supermodel, just become a jiu-jitsu instructor?
Maybe that's the angle.
Who was your favorite roaster?
My favorite roaster is, I think her name is Sam J.
Yeah.
I feel like it was already below the belt, above the belt, on the side of the belt, in the pants, outside the pants. The conversation went every direction. I feel like she was 100% the funniest one to me.
I loved Ron Burgundy. He could do no wrong. Anyway, shout out to Netflix. I thought that was great. I hope Gisele isn't mad, and I hope everybody.
Man, Gisele better. No disrespect, because she was once somebody's wife, and I don't talk about people's wives because you're supposed to be willing to fight over yours. But some people need to sit down a little bit. You know what I mean? Sit down a little bit and have a sectional, not a seat. Have a whole church pew. Sit down somewhere.
Tyron, I saw a video of you at a wedding with Mariah Carey, Brian McKnight, and Anthony Joshua. What are you doing?
Did I ever cross your mind? Brian McKnight, are you out there? Shout out to my dog, Umar Kamani, and his beautiful wife, Nada Kamani. They invited me to the wedding. They family to me. It was crazy, unreal.
Who is this person?
Umar Kamani is the owner of Pretty Little Thing, which is a super famous hashtagable fashion wear where basically women around the world are all wanting to be put on this site. That's Pretty Little Thing. He signed Naomi Campbell as a spokesperson and a model. She was at the wedding as well. But yeah, like you said, Naomi Campbell was there, Anthony Joshua was there, Christina Milian was there, Mariah Carey, Brian McKnight, Stevie Mack, anybody you can think of. Rio Ferdinand was there, a lot of pro football players. It was a phenomenal wedding. It was crazy. They put a very special sticker on the back of our phone so we couldn't take videos, which was kind of dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They said the people that are here, we want them to enjoy this moment and be present. And they didn't want for their privacy. They didn't want all their stuff on the web. But I did start seeing random pictures or videos of being in the place. And then I started to see it go on the internet. And then they started to repost it. So I was like, all right, you know what I mean? Christina Milian was viral. She went up, especially for an 80s baby. In the 90s, she kind of cracking. Mariah Carey is one of the best songwriters of all time.
What did Mariah Carey perform at this wedding? All I Want for Christmas Is You?
Nah, I mean she got the best Christmas album. She got the best Christmas album to me.
I know.
She went over all the hits. I thought it was crazy. It was an all-white welcome party. It was a formal wedding that you saw me get James Bond 007 pimped out in. I like getting dressed up. I was like playing dress up. It was an Indian wedding. The first time I ever experienced an Indian wedding. Namaste to all my Indian people. Also, it was a going away, a send-off. There was a brunch, and everything was like a 20 out of 10. Like he went above and beyond. The whole hotel in the south of France, nobody could even come in there. He bought the whole hotel. So nobody can even buy a room in the place. So I'll never do nothing that big probably. But it did make me like, damn, this was a vibe. Like, I guess if you real confident that this person is going to be the one for life, you can go all out and throw the kitchen sink. The thing that I liked the most was his dad's speech. He said, I don't tell you this enough. He said, I love you and I'm proud of you. And I don't tell you that enough, but I want to tell you now in front of everybody, I love you and I'm proud of you. And it just, as a father, it made me feel good to see that even though you got all this money, you still can have a real moment. So I text all my sons. I told them I love them. I'm proud of them because you start working and you forget. You know what I mean? I told his dad that now me and his dad got a handshake. It's tap tap. It tastes delicious because he said you got to love yourself first. It tastes delicious. So I can't wait to get back, guys. I've been on a crazy traveling tour. I've been in Dubai. I've been in Vegas. I've been in Houston. I've been back to Dubai twice. I've been to France. I'm in Dubai. I'll be in Saudi Arabia. So you'll see me bouncing around, but you will see me in studio side by side with my dog. And we ain't got no beef. The only thing we come in is dissing all y'all busters that doing these shows, and ours more lit.
I'm excited to have you back, man. We'll see you guys next time.
Let's go.